Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome to episode 39. This is way past due, but I had to take a nice little break from YouTube. For those of you that are following me outside of the channel or seeing the videos where I'm talking about my life that's happening, yeah, there was a lot going on. I had to take a seat back and kind of let things ride out. But now we're back, guys, and I'm going to give you guys some daily content as I used to. So let's get into it. Episode 39 of My Hero Academia, titled Game Start. Now this episode, to be real, it's not like, I wouldn't consider this a real episode as far as the season starting. This is like a great prologue to everything that's going to take place in the season. It just shows you like all the previous events from Season 2, from Season 1, all the beginning things. They do a great job of telling you everybody's previous quirks, and in very subtle ways, they make it a point to discuss different events, but they make it as if they're explaining it in current time for different situations. So, this episode, I've watched it both subbed and dubbed. So, and before I even get any further on that, everybody, if you're watching My Hero Academia, okay, you can't argue this fact. The dub and the sub are both excellent. And I mean excellent. I love them both. I'm not biased to either one. I started watching the show initially completely in sub, and before Season 3 came out, I rewatched all of it in the dub. And I have to say that both sides of the voice acting cast convey the emotions extremely well. One of my favorites of which is Eraserhead. He does a good job of, communicating his drained demeanor in English and in sub. Like both are excellent. All right, so don't come over here with any of that. Oh, the dub sucks or the sub sucks or blah blah blah. Look, I'm not about that. All right, I'm about appreciating the show for what it is. You can have your opinion, but don't come in my comment section trying to trash anything that's relative to the work of the show. Alright, so moving past that, moving on, guys. So like I was saying, they do a great job of kind of explaining all the past events, but they do it in a current time thing. The episode, pretty much starts off with they're in the bar, and what's the teleporting guy's name? The guy's quirk. Dude, what is this guy's name? Vanishing Villain, My Hero. I can't remember his name. What is his name? Is it Tomura? No, it's not Tomura. No. Tomura's the main guy. Let me get back to this. Hang on, I'm gonna find it real quick because it's actually kind of bothering me now. Is it Shimura? Dude, what? Whoa! Oh, dude, I just spoiled. Anyways, moving on. Alright, so I just spoiled something completely for myself. Don't even listen to anything I just said. Moving on, they're explaining the quirks about... Oh, dude, did I just really do that? Yes, I did. Oh! Well, I know a bit more about All Might. Anyways, so... The Vanishing Villain, whose quirk is teleportation. I can't think of his name off top, but it's whatever, dude. He's looking at the cards, and apparently these cards are different heroes or different UA students, or that's at least what they allude to. So one of them is Midoriya. Of course, he's the main character, and they explain his growth, how he got his quirk, not exactly how, but how it suddenly came out of nowhere, and that the hero killer Stain actually approved of him, actually recognized him by sparing his life when the Nomu was trying to take him away. So, in other words, the League of Villains has to have some type of respect for Deku. Well, not the League of Villains, but anybody who's going to... What you're going to learn is that these villains that are coming in Season 3 here are very, very into what Stain's overall agenda was. So the League of Villains may have a separate agenda for the main characters, but some of the characters that join the League of Villains outside of the main two and All for One, it's kind of confusing, alright? But long story short, there's people who have their agenda that want to live by Stain's rules, and then there's people that just want to be villains, alright? And so what I was getting at is there's going to be some heroes here that are not going to necessarily, from what I've seen so far, be an immediate, like Midoriya. Alright, whatever. I'll explain it because I don't want to spoil it in this episode review. Even though I've seen the upcoming episodes, I'm trying to keep it as if I haven't seen them. All right, so let's move past all that. Jump to the next scene after they're talking about Midoriya in the bar and his skills. We jump to Midoriya being at home. He's watching the video with All Might doing one of his. It's the same one Midoriya obsesses over all the time. And one of the two of the students come to pick up Midoriya. I think it was the electric one. That's Kaminari, and I think it's Mineta. Kaminari, Minoru, or Mineta, whichever one he goes by. They come to pick him up. They want him to come with them to the pool. Now, the reason why they want to do this is because Midoriya is the perfect person to have with them, which would allude to nothing bad going on at all. So they take Midoriya with them. They get the okay from Eraserhead, showing that they want to go to the pool for quote-unquote endurance training. That's what they want to go for. But the next scene happens and they don't exactly get what they want. So during this scene, right before the students come asking Eraserhead for the approval to go to the pool, Eraserhead's going over every single person's quirk. Now, what I liked is like watching this in the dub over the sub is, he explains it and it's easier to keep up with the pacing. I mean, we all know who everybody's quirks are, but when you actually hear it being said in English, it's kind of more natural for you to understand. If English is your, like mine, main speaking language, it's easier to keep up with that. So, it was really cool. Like the first one where he was describing the dude with the belly button laser. He was like, essentially, it's a laser that comes out of your belly button. Like his tired demeanor is just so perfect when he talks. So when he was communicating that to what's the other guy's name? What's his name? God, there's so many. I can't remember their names. I think it's Vlad. It's like Vlad something. Vlad King. It's Vlad King. All right. So yeah, they're talking over the quirks and he's explaining it to them, and then they're about to get right into the 1B students, and then boom, here comes the sketchy crew. Kaminari, Minoru, and Midoriya, who's oblivious to what's going on. They get the approval. They're about to go to the pool. Now they've revealed that, look, man, the reason why we're going to the pool is because we're trying to see these girls in their hot bathing suit. That's what we're trying to see. All to be greeted when they walk through the door, the entrance to the pool. It's none other than Tenya, the class rep, greeting them with open arms with no shirt on. The complete opposite of what they wanted, but then they thought, oh, well, maybe there's still girls here in their nice bathing suits, and then they see them and the girls are in their one pieces. Boom. They were done. Completely done. So, some of these things, like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm not a big fan service guy. Just give me good plot and I'm good to go. I don't need all the fan service moments, but they introduced those in My Hero Academia as, comical moments. So, as we get a little bit further here, we're nearing the end of the episode. The guys decided that they should do a 50-meter race, which in this instance is more of a freestyle race. So they're using their quirks to race from one end of the pool to the other. And so Bakugo starts it off by, just exploding over, and everybody else is like, all right, well, yeah, we'll use our quirks too. So they're using their quirks. My favorite moment here is you're seeing how each different person navigates with their quirk in their own way from one end of the pool to the other. Now you get to the finale here, where, well, not even the finale, my favorite part happened before that. Midoriya activates full cowling while swimming, and he's going against Tenya, whose quirk is Engine, which makes him go extremely fast. Midoriya was able to reach the end of the pool using full cowling while swimming before Tenya was able to use his Engine quirk on the pool divider thing, whatever they're called. I didn't think Midoriya was going to win. I thought it was going to come close, but he wasn't going to win because they always want to make him the underdog. But no, he won, and that was awesome. I was like, dude, to see full cowling have that much of a edge against a quirk that's purely designated for speed, that's just sick, man. After that, before the final race begins, the guys are talking, Tenya, Todoroki, and Midoriya. They're reflecting on, the events that happened with Stain, and it's kind of showing you, hey, look, these three have come a long ways, and they didn't think they would necessarily be involved with one another as deep as they are now, but they really are. So this is kind of a new clique. These three, they're their own clique. Bakugo, I can't remember if it's exclusive to the dub or not, but Bakugo has a nickname for Todoroki, which is hilarious. It's Icy Hot. It's perfect. It's the perfect nickname for Todoroki. I love it. When I heard it, it made me laugh. Like, I love when I'm watching a show and it causes me to actually evoke emotions externally instead of like to yourself. You're like, oh, that's funny. Where like it actually makes you laugh. You guys know what I'm talking about. Don't make me sound like I'm crazy here. So now we get to the final part of this 50-meter freestyle race. Todoroki, Bakugo, and Midoriya are all about to get ready to race. You see the sparks from Full Cowling, you see Todoroki, you see Bakugo, they're ready to do it. And right as they jump, boom, their quirks are gone. They're no more. Eraserhead has come, and now it's done. There's no more race. He kicks them out, and now they're all walking home. So this episode wasn't really one that you're going to watch to get hype. It was a great introduction episode to the season to get everybody involved with what's going on. In case you missed some bits or forgot some bits, this episode's job was to truly just keep everybody up to pace. And it even did it in a way of which if you weren't starting from episode 1, watching this episode, you kind of can have a general idea of what's happening. So, I think they did a good episode. This episode was great. Now, I know when it first initially aired, there was a weird thing happening where the dub didn't have this episode, but the sub did. And I was like, what the heck? And then, now I'm rewatching it in dub for the first time. And I'm like, okay, so it's finally here. So I was thinking that they were trying to allude to the fact that this wasn't initially part of the actual season and it was extra, but I guess I was wrong. So anyways, great episode. They do one other thing that I like. All Might is talking to, there's so many of these people, man. Sukachi, whatever, it's the detective dude that All Might's talking to. And what we get to see is even though All Might is in a weakened state with his quirk, when All Might's emotions are being stirred, he reacts with his quirk. And so he got so angered at the events of what the League of Villains were doing, he activated his quirk unintentionally, so it seemed. So, that was cool. But other than that, there wasn't really anything else that really happened on this episode. So, this episode was great. I'm not going to say that anymore because I've said it like 5 times. I think this is from like manga chapter, if I recall, I think I heard people saying, I haven't read the manga, right? So I think I recall some people saying that this wasn't even fully in the manga, so some of this is original canon, and I'm starting to learn that some of these things, some of the events of the anime are actually straying from the manga, and I'm going to start reading it. I would upload the manga chapters here like I used to do in the past, but as far as the channel is concerned, I'm currently sitting on 2 copyright strikes, and if I get a third, it's going to be a disabled channel, so that means you'd have to watch me on Senzu Sun X. So I'm going to refrain from doing that. I have until the end of July. Once the end of July passes, that's when those 2 strikes will expire and I will be good. It's definitely a learning lesson. Wanted to take as much time away to kind of focus on other things and then come back to the channel with the right type of content. So that is going to conclude my episode 39 review of My Hero Academia. I want you guys to stay tuned because episode 40 is coming right back at you as well. I'm also doing reviews on Megalobox as well. So, as I apologize for being gone, my reviews are kind of long-winded, but if you stick through to the end, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you've made it this far into the review, in the comment section down below, type in Full Cowling 1, as in like Midoriya 1. No. If you've made it this far to the end of the video, type in Full Cowling number 1. I can't think of anything better than that right now, so let's just go with it. If you made it this far in, hashtag Full Cowling number 1. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I plan on providing you guys with the daily content. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.
Yo 俺たちはそう持たざるもの愛情